up, everyone? My name's Stevie Onuska. Most of you guys probably remember me from the blog Stoner Comics that I ran, where you're probably seeing this right now. I'm making this video to just talk about why I am not smoking weed anymore. I haven't smoked. Last time I smoked was probably about June or July, probably June or so. When my friends was over, I smoked a little bit, but I started doing it and it didn't feel right for me. This was the first time I smoked in maybe about from that point, maybe about 3 or 4 months, something like that. It's been a little while. So, yeah, I guess I'll just start from the beginning. The main reason why I started smoking was just of course, it was fun and stuff like that. I felt good. It was a fun way to get away from things, and I did it with friends and stuff like that. So it was yeah, this is fun. But then I started as I went to college, as I had my own dorm room. Freshman year I smoked with my roommate a lot, but then as I went to sophomore year, my roommates didn't smoke. My roommate who I used to smoke with, he moved away to a different school. I was pretty much left alone. I didn't have that many other smoking friends, so I just I bought a vaporizer, smoked in my room all the time, and just stayed to myself. And yeah, I just kind of, and as I did that more and more, I just realized that the main reason why I was doing it was mostly just because I didn't really like myself. I wasn't happy with who I was. I wasn't happy with the fact that other people in my same age were doing awesome internships and stuff like that. They were doing really well in classes. They were just doing really well at life, it seemed like, while I was never progressing anywhere. I was just staying in the same place. I didn't see myself moving forward with anything, and so because of that, I would just smoke at night. During the day, I was at school. I was living on campus, and so I wouldn't smoke during the day, mostly just because I didn't want to get caught, and because when I smoked, I just felt super insecure about myself. And it's weird that it's really weird that I would keep on doing that if I did that. I don't know. It's it would bring smoke. By the end of my time smoking, I would get high and just feel really just bad about myself. I would sit there, and I would remember multiple nights just laying there and being wow, I really suck. In layman's term, I guess. I just really suck. I'm not happy with myself. Look at me. I'm just some lazy bum sitting here, just stoned, high. What you got going on for yourself, kid? Just thinking like that, and I just didn't. It was just my weight, and I don't know. I really don't know, honestly, why I kept smoking during that period. But yeah, I just really didn't feel like I had the motivation. I guess that I was using weed to just kind of be well, I know this is always here. I know this is never gonna leave me. So yeah, so that was my thing about smoking back then. I would do that to just kind of get away from the normal thoughts of not liking myself to the stone thoughts of not feeling myself, and I watched Netflix and stuff like that, and for a while it did help and stuff like that. Watching Netflix, and I remember I went through almost all of that '70s show, and yeah, it was just my getaway. That's what it was. I tried reading a couple books while I was stoned. A lot of times it didn't end up working out because I was too stoned to really read, but yeah, I remember it just wasn't, I don't know, it just wasn't benefiting me. Really, I felt like it was holding me back, honestly. I really felt like weed was just, I was just using it as a crutch. I was using it as a crutch to hide all these feelings of just not being good enough. I was very socially awkward. I still kind of am, but I mean, I've learned to accept just certain things about myself, and accept that other people have certain things about themselves as well that they don't like. And when you kind of meet in the middle, yeah, I'm not perfect. I know you're not perfect. And hopefully you're not perfect. But once we accept that about ourselves, then we're, I'm getting a little off topic. But anyways, yeah. So I don't know. I would just use it as a crutch. It was just my go-to to that was my hiding place from the world. And I'm sure most of you guys know what I'm talking about too. That it's it does a good job at that. Straight up, it's good at that. But is that really I mean, you guys do your thing. I'm a person too. Who am I to judge? But like, is that really what we want to, how we want to go about our situations in life? Do we really want to just say like, well, yeah, life sucks, but I'm just gonna hide back, kind of thing, hide back in my own little world? Like, I don't know. I've just decided, like, I just feel like that's not the best way to go about things, you know? Like, everyone smokes for their own reason. You do your thing. Like I said, who am I to judge? But that's just my view on it. From like what I was doing in the past, like how often I was smoking, why I was smoking, the thoughts I was feeling, thoughts I was thinking, feelings I was feeling while I was smoking, stuff like that. And so that's just my personal experience with it. And yeah, and then also, like, just, I said I'd do a little something to catch up with you guys. Excuse me, hiccups. Yeah, after I was smoking for a while, I started running. I wanted to become a little more physically fit, and as I was running, I was never big or anything like that. I think I was like 185 or something at my heaviest point, and I'm 5'11". I was 185. I had a little fat on me, not a lot or anything like that, but like as I started running, I started seeing results, of course, and because I was running so much, I started seeing more and more results, and I noticed that like my body was getting smaller, that I was losing that fat, and I was like, yes, this is making me feel good. I feel like I'm doing something after all this time of like smoking and not doing anything, just getting like average grades, never really exceeding in anything. And I was like, yes, this is cool. I like this. I'm seeing good results. People will see me and think like, oh, look at how well he's doing. Look, he's doing really well in his life. And so I kind of like started associating being thinner with being successful. And so I was still smoking at this point too. I was so I started using running as another one of my crutches to escape from everything, because I felt like if I was running, I was being successful. I was achieving. I was getting skinnier. I was seeing results and stuff like that. I was getting things accomplished. And so I continued to run to the point where I was running like 6.5, 7 miles every other day, or every day, every other day kind of thing. And I mean, it's awesome for people who are doing that. By all means, that is incredible. Go you. But I would do that and like barely eat. Okay, I didn't do 7 miles too often now that I'm thinking back, but like 5 miles, 6.5 miles, that's still a lot every day. But yeah, I was doing that and just letting that get in the way of a lot of things. And I wasn't doing it because I was in like track or anything like that. It was just because I wanted to be as skinny as possible. I started getting this mentality where I needed to just be thin, and that meant that I was successful. If I had any kind of fat on me, this was like a progression of thoughts over time, but if I had any fat on me, it meant that I was a failure. And so I continued going. I was running all the time, and I started eating less and less. I remember there were days, this is about last summer, so about a year from now, in 2013, there were days where I would be, where I would run like 5.5, 6 miles in the morning and then eat like a peanut butter sandwich and feel bad about that. And that's all I ate during the day. And for people who know me, they know I love to eat. So that was bad. And then it eventually progressed to the point where I was taking laxatives. I was taking laxatives. I would go to the store and steal the most expensive little tube of laxatives I could find. And yeah, I would not buy them. I would steal them. I'd just like put them in my pocket and walk out of the store. And I remember the ones I took were like $20 bottles, so they were nice. And yeah, I just thought that like, all right, if running and taking laxatives, I'll get rid of even more fat. I'll just poop out everything that comes into me. So I would take at least, like, there were nights when I would take 7 laxatives and just in one sitting and do that. And yeah, my butt felt like crap afterwards, to be like, no pun intended or anything, but like I just felt terrible after that. Like my poop was like water. I shouldn't laugh at this. This is not funny, but my poop was water. Like it was bad. It was pretty gross, and like I would just get up feeling just like I don't know. It just wasn't a good time. I would do that like every other night. Take 7 laxatives or so. Like, I remember taking 4 laxatives. Like, I remember there were nights when I would take 4 laxatives and be like, this is, like, my minimum one. This is like my little night of like taking laxatives, you know, like, compared to my 7. That was like my all right, I took a lot the other day. Let me just take 4, just 4. That's still a lot. That was like the maximum recommendation. And so yeah, so there's that, and I would just continue doing that. I never made myself throw up. I mean, like, during this time, I was never diagnosed or anything. I wasn't diagnosed anorexic or anything, but I mean, like, the mindset was there. I was doing this because I was just not confident in myself. I wasn't sure of the fact I didn't. It was the same thing like when I was smoking weed. I was using running and my image to cope with the fact that I wasn't happy with life. And I wasn't happy with where I was going. I wasn't happy with the fact that I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't feel like I had any control of things, so I felt like, well, I can control how much I eat, I can control how much I run, I can control how I look. So I'm going to do that, and that's going to determine my happiness. That's going to determine my success, my self-worth in life. And so, yeah, so that kept up for a while, and like I said, I was stealing those little bottles and stuff like that, and as I continued stealing, as I continued taking laxatives, as I continued running, as I continued smoking, using all these like coping mechanisms to hide from all these like what's the word I'm looking for? Hide from all the just negativity I viewed myself in. Yeah, as I continued doing that, it eventually got to the point where I would steal from grocery stores. I would go to grocery stores and take, and it started off real small. I would take like candy, stuff like that. I would just take little candies and do that. I remember this is during the time when I was anorexic, when I was like basically anorexic too, and yeah, so I would go and like take Reese's cups and Butterfingers and all the chocolates I could find, and like Dunkin' Donuts little box donut things, and take them and like eat a bite or something, and then like hide them somewhere in the grocery store. And yeah, I would do that, and it would just, once again, it was something that I would do. Like, I would go on like specific missions to, like, I would call them my missions, to go out and like go to Kroger, then I go from Kroger to Target, then from Target to a different place or something like that, and just go make my little stops where I would do this. I would go take food from here, take food from here, take food from here, just take some candy from here. And I remember there was one day where I did it, and it was bad. I took like at least, like, I think I went to 4 or 5 different spots. Let's see, I went to what's the place? Walgreens. I went to a Walgreens, took some soap, some deodorant, some other things. I went to Whole Foods, I took some stupid coconut oil. No, not coconut. That stuff's useful. I took coconut flour. I was trying to do the whole paleo thing because I thought that would make me happy again, kind of thing. I took coconut flour. I stole a bunch of other things, some tuna, some stupid stuff like that. I stole just a lot of dumb things. I went to like Target after that. Then I went to one Kroger. Then I went to another Kroger. I think I went to about 6 or 7 places total, and stole about like $100 worth of stuff, or over $100, much over $100. And yeah, just did that, and then that kind of led to that just led to more stealing, continued smoking, continued running, excess running, continued under eating, and also, of course, with the under eating came binge eating. There would be nights where I would just stuff my face. I would just like go out and, I mean, like I said, I was already stealing the candies. I would go out and just steal just food. I remember there was one night where I like went to Little Caesars and like went in the dumpster to get a pizza, and I like ate like the whole I think I ate about like 3/4 or at least half of that pizza by myself. And like, this is all at like 1 in the morning on a school night. I had class at like the 9 a.m. the next morning, and I was just doing this because I felt like crap about myself, and I was like, this is gonna make me happy right now. So I would do stuff like that, and then like just eat a ton of other stuff. I would like literally eat and just down food and just say like, this will make me happy, kind of thing. But I knew it wasn't or anything like that. I ate to the point where it hurt, and I have a huge stomach. Especially for those who know me, they know I'm like a bottomless pit. And so yeah, I would just eat to the point where like I was just bloated, I hurt, and then of course like I was in that anorexic mindset where I was like, I need to be skinny. So one, that made me hate myself even more. It made me even more depressed than what I was already at. I felt it like even more of a failure. Even though during that time, like I felt like I don't care right now. I'm eating is just making me feel so like just stress free. Wow, that was a weak one. Sorry about that. And yeah, so just eating would make me feel stress free, but then afterwards I just felt terrible. So I'd go take like 7 laxatives. I think I already said I never made myself throw up or anything, but yeah, so I did that, and that was just the way I was. That's the way I was living, and it was around that time that I started to find God. That's when I know a lot of you people are like, oh, this is stupid now, but no, like in all honesty, I really accredit the fact that I came away from that lifestyle, the way I was heading. Who knows what I could have done? I had suicidal thoughts at the time, and who knows what I could have done to myself, what could have happened if I had continued that and hadn't been introduced to God and the love that He has for us. But I just encourage you to listen, just hear what I have to say. I'm not trying to say that you need to do this. You do your thing. This is what worked for me. I'm sharing what I believe to have saved me, and if it can help you, perfect. If not, so on. Keep doing your thing. And yeah, so I was going through all these things, and then I met this one girl. She lived close by. She was at the house I was living at was a house show place, and there was a concert going on, and the guy who was playing, he was a Christian dude. I remember I came home one day, and I was used to like coming home and seeing band guys just like hanging out in the house, but this guy, he was like sitting there reading his Bible. And I remember like I came home, I was like sweaty because I rode my bike from work. It was the middle of summer in Nashville. It was burning hot outside, and he's sitting there reading his Bible, and he comes up, he shakes my hand, he like bows to me and all this stuff, and he's like, hi, it's such an honor to meet you. I'm so thankful for everything that you're doing for me. And I was just blown away. I was like, whoa, no problem, man. I don't know you, but yeah, that's not a problem. Sure, I'm gonna go to my room now. So I went upstairs, didn't really do anything else, but he like cleaned the house, he like vacuumed and stuff like that. He did all these different things, but anyway, so the time comes for him to have the show that he was doing that weekend, and so I came down, and I was like, yeah, he was doing all this cool stuff. I'll check it out. And so he was playing. He wasn't really doing anything too like impressive. It was good. It was good. Don't get me wrong, but like I wasn't like blown away by it. I wasn't like, yes, I'm saved or anything. But during that show, he had a friend that had just moved in town, and she was doing like a little Bible study thing with her brother. And they had just moved to the area. They were looking for people to come out to their Bible study. So I got her phone number. She was like, yeah, I knew you should come to our Bible study sometime. I'd love to have you out there. And I was like, yeah, I'll check it out. Sure, we'll see what happens. I wasn't really planning on anything. I was still doing my smoking, my stealing, running, all that stuff. So yeah, I was doing that. And then one day it was around Halloween. It was like Halloween weekend or something, or the weekend before. I don't remember. I think Halloween was on like a Wednesday or something. I don't know. But yeah, so Sunday came around, and she texted me, and she was like, it was nighttime, and she was like, hey, you should come over to our house. We're doing pumpkin carving. And so I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm not really doing anything right now. I guess I can go. Let's see what happens. And so I went out, and I remember I had a really good time. The people they were insanely friendly people. I remember that, and they were just like so wholesome. I felt no judgment from these people. I felt that they accepted me, and I remember like saying like stupid, corny, like really bad jokes, and they would like laugh hysterically at it, like it was the funniest thing they'd ever heard in the world. And it was like, what? It was almost to the point where I was like, what are you guys doing? This is weird. But yeah, it was. So I had a really good time. We did pumpkin carving, stuff like that, and it was just a good time. I started going to the church meetings more and more regularly. There's another place here in Nashville called Rocketown. I don't know if they endorse me saying this, but whatever. Sorry. I know them. They'll be cool. Yeah. So I started going out to Rocketown, and because some of my friends volunteered there. I started getting involved with a program on school where we did like service throughout the community, and working with nonprofits. And Rocketown is a nonprofit here in Nashville, and yeah, so I would go out there and do like a skate church program with kids where I would like help lead I wouldn't really help lead the Bible study. I'd like just set up for it and sat in, then went skateboarding with the kids. They have a skate park there, and yeah, we go skateboarding with the kids afterwards. It was cool. It was a really cool thing. There was also a potluck dinner that they would do on Thursday nights where they brought in, like, people would bring in food, and we would go and sit down and eat, and then there'd be like a little Bible study afterwards, like a 30-minute, 45-minute discussion. It was more so like people just talking about their life and saying like everything going on with their life. And so, yeah, so I did that, and just over time, like, I started hearing all these stories of just like a loving God who loves people, who loves us for all of our faults. Like, I remember one of the things that they said that really stuck to me was, God, as soon as you sin, God forgets that you sinned. Like, as soon as it happened, He forgets it. And that He wants you to succeed. He wants to see you be the fullest you can be. And during this time, I was like, I'd always been atheist. I didn't believe in a God. I didn't believe in anything like that. I was like, no, that's ridiculous. That can't be true. There's no proof for that. And I guess just over time, I started realizing that you don't need proof for God. That kind of like denies everything He's about. The whole idea behind believing in God is that there is no proof, that you literally just do this out of faith. And faith is the driving force behind my beliefs, like what I believe in. Faith is the reason why. Faith in God is just believing in the fact that He loves me, that He created me, He created you, He created everyone on this planet, that He created everyone that is and ever will be, that He knows our desires, that He knows what you want. He knows what you want to be, what you dream, what your deepest little dreams are. He knows what they are, and He wants you to succeed. He wants to see that. He wants to see you just be like I said, the greatest, the most full version of you that you can be. And that was something that, and just believing that He's there, that really drove me to say, like, okay, like, I know I don't believe, but I'm just gonna have faith. I'm gonna trust that He's there, and I'm just gonna try following His word. And yeah, so that's brought me to where I am today. I mean, like I said, I do believe in God. I do believe that Jesus died for my sins, and I really cannot prove it. That was the hardest thing for me to do. I just could not say, like, I believe in God. That was the hardest thing for me to say, because I went to all these things, and I just I was so just like, where's the logic behind this? Where's the science behind this? Where's the proof? I needed that, and like I said, that there is no proof. There is no logic. There is no science behind this. It's just saying, I believe. I believe in God. That's all there is. Like, if I had realized that a little sooner, I would have been saved a while back. But yeah, so that's where I'm at right now. I don't know. It's late, right? What time is it right now? It's almost 9. I'm kind of sorry. I'm messing with my computer now. All right. Yeah, it's been a bit of a long day. So my mind's kind of all over the place. I ramble a lot when I talk, so that's my bad. But if you stuck around this long, I appreciate that. That's what I've been up to, guys. Yeah. So I really hope everyone's doing well. I'd love to hear back from you guys. I'll be checking in on Tumblr every now and then, and yeah, so that's that. Yeah, I really sincerely hope everyone's doing well. So if you guys need to talk about anything, if you have any questions about God, about religion, about what you're going through, if you're going through anything similar and just want to talk to someone and don't feel like anyone's there, send me a message. send me an ask, or if they still call it out on Tumblr, I don't know, but send me an ask and just say like, hey, I just want to talk. You don't even have, you can say like, I don't want to talk about God or religion, I just want to talk. I'm here for you. So yeah, once again, I hope everyone's doing well. Love to hear back from you guys, so send me a message or something. Take care, everyone.